Have you ever felt like you were stepping into a chess game where your opponent not only cheats but also sets the board on fire, then blames you for the flames? If so, welcome. You've just entered the world of narcissists, where logic is twisted, emotions are manipulated, and no matter how hard you try, you always feel like you're losing. But here's the good news. You're not crazy, and you're not alone. They're just masters of creating chaos. And today, we're going to break their game down, step by step. In today's video, I'll show you the 3 biggest mistakes most of us make when dealing with narcissists. The traps that leave you drained, doubting yourself and tangled in their drama like a puppet with no way out. But we're not just stopping at pointing out the problem. I'll walk you through different perspectives from psychology to real-life experiences. And most importantly, I'll arm you with the tools to step out of the chaos with your self-worth intact, stronger than ever. By the end of this video, you won't just understand why you keep falling into their web. You'll know how to stand up, say enough, and take back the life you deserve. So, grab a coffee, or maybe a whole pot, buckle up, and get ready for a deep dive into the narcissist's mind. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications now, because if you're watching this, you might need every tip I'm about to share to survive real-life drama. Let's dive in. Before we dive into the 3 biggest mistakes, we need to fully understand the enemy we're dealing with. Narcissists aren't just people who love themselves too much. They are master manipulators, living to script a reality where they are always the shining star, while you're nothing more than an expendable side character, drained until there's nothing left. They lack empathy, not because they don't want to, but because they can't. They manipulate as if it's second nature. They crave validation like oxygen, and when things fall apart, they'll point the finger at you, as if you were the source of every problem in existence. Imagine you have a co-worker named Chad. Chad never misses a chance to brag in meetings, telling stories about how he single-handedly saved the team from disaster. But when the project actually fails, he turns to you in front of everyone. If you had done a better job, we wouldn't be in this mess. You sit there, stunned, thinking, what did I do wrong? I gave it my all. That's a narcissist in action. They don't just drain your energy, they make you doubt yourself, twisting you into a version of yourself you never wanted to be. But, from another angle, what makes them this way? They weren't born evil. They're broken inside. Some psychologists believe narcissists are trapped in a self-destructive cycle where they must control others to cover up deep-seated insecurity. But don't let that fool you. Understanding them does not mean you have to forgive or tolerate them. Why are they dangerous? Because they don't just damage your life. They can reshape how you see yourself if you're not careful. So, what makes us fall into their trap so easily? It all comes down to 3 major mistakes we're about to uncover. And let me be clear, these mistakes are not your fault. They are natural human reactions when dealing with an unnatural type of person. But once you see them for what they are, you can break free from the cycle. Let's dive into mistake 1. Mistake 1. Believing they have a heart. The first mistake most of us make is believing that narcissists are just like us, that they have a heart, that if we are patient, kind, or loving enough, they will change. You think, Chad isn't that bad, he's just stressed. If I give him time, he'll see that I care and he'll change. Spoiler alert, they don't change. They are trapped inside a prison of their own narcissism, and the scary part, they don't want to leave. They're comfortable in their chaos. Let me tell you a story. Lisa, a friend of mine, once dated Mike, a handsome, charming guy but a textbook narcissist. At first, Mike was like something out of a Hollywood romance. Flowers, sweet messages, perfect dates. But a few months in, the control started. Don't wear that dress, it looks cheap. Or, why are you hanging out with your friends? They're not good for you. When Lisa cried, hurt by his words, Mike stayed cold. You're too sensitive, stop overreacting. Lisa thought that if she loved him enough, he would change. 2 years later, she had no friends, no energy, and no idea who she was anymore. Mike never planned to change. He just wanted Lisa to keep dancing to his tune forever. But why do we fall into this trap? Because we are human. We believe in kindness, in the potential for change. But with narcissists, that belief is a dangerous illusion. The famous psychologist Carl Jung once said, "People cannot change anything unless they accept it." Narcissists refuse to accept anything. They'd rather burn the world down than look in the mirror. They don't care about your feelings. They only care about how you serve them. This mistake is dangerous because it steals your hope, keeping you stuck, waiting for a miracle that will never come. And the longer you wait, the more power you give them, power they will use to crush you piece by piece. But from another perspective, this mistake also shows your strength. You have compassion. You want to believe in good. The problem is, you're giving it to the wrong person. So, how do you avoid this mistake? Stop waiting for a miracle. See them for what they are, like a storm, beautiful from a distance, but you don't want to be caught in the eye of the hurricane. Keep your distance. Don't expect them to empathize or change. Learn to say no without explaining yourself. Narcissists hate that, but you'll love the freedom it brings. And if Chad or Mike starts playing the victim, just imagine them competing for an Oscar for Worst Supporting Actor, and you don't have to sit through the performance. But don't stop there. Ask yourself, why do I feel the need to save them? Maybe it's because you're afraid of being alone. Maybe you think your worth is tied to fixing others. That's the perspective you need to change, because your value is not in saving someone else, but in protecting yourself. Walk away, keep your heart safe, because they don't deserve it. If this mistake hit home, if you felt the way it can drain your soul, drop us one in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts, because your story is strength, and together we can break free from this chaos. Mistake 2. Letting them know too much about you. The second mistake is letting narcissists know too much about you, your secrets, fears, dreams, or even your most vulnerable moments. You think sharing builds trust, that it will bring them closer to you, but to them, it's not connection. It's like handing them a sharp knife and saying, "Stab me." They don't want to understand you. They want ammunition to use against you when the time is right. Picture this. You work with Chad, and one day during lunch break, you tell him about the time your boss scolded you for being late. You think, Chad gets it. He's been there too. This is a bonding moment. But the next week, during a full team meeting, Chad accidentally brings it up. "Yeah, the boss really hates people who are late, right?" Then smirks at you. The whole room chuckles. Your face turns red, and suddenly, you've become the joke of the week. Chad doesn't care about you. He just wanted a bullet to fire when needed, and you handed it to him. Looking deeper, why do we do this? Because we want to be understood. It's human nature. We think that if we open up, others will do the same. But narcissists don't play by those rules. Psychologist Brené Brown once said, "Vulnerability is not weakness, but it's only safe when shared with those who have earned the right to hear your story." To a narcissist, your vulnerability isn't a gift, it's a weapon. They'll use your fears to make you tremble, your mistakes to make you feel small, and your dreams to make you believe they'll never come true. This is dangerous because every piece of information you give away is another rope they'll use to tie you up even tighter. But from another angle, it also reveals how weak they are. They need your information to feel powerful because on their own they're nothing special, so why do we keep handing it over? Maybe we fear rejection or think that if we don't share, we won't be loved. But that's the trap you need to escape. How do you avoid this? Keep your cards close, treat them like a stranger at a bar. They don't need to know your life story, and you don't owe them an explanation. If they ask something too personal, switch topics as smoothly as you swipe left on Tinder. Smooth and unbothered. This is America, baby. Protect your privacy like you protect the last burger at a barbecue. But on a deeper level, ask yourself who truly deserves to know my story. Not Chad, not Mike. Only those who genuinely care, who truly listen without waiting for a chance to stab you in the back. Don't let narcissists turn your vulnerabilities into their playground. You deserve to keep what's precious to yourself and those who are truly worthy, and only them. Mistake 3. Trying to fight or change them. The third mistake, and this is the biggest one, is thinking you can fight narcissists or change them. You get frustrated, you get angry, and you think, I'll show Chad who's boss. But here's the harsh truth. They're professional boxers, and to them, you're just a punching bag. The more you argue, the more exhausted you get while they enjoy watching you unravel. And changing them? That's a fantasy even Hollywood wouldn't dare script. Let me tell you a story. I once had a friend named Jake in my old friend group. Jake always had to be the center of attention, interrupting people, controlling every plan, and if you ever called him out, he'd instantly play the victim. I'm just trying to help everyone. Why are you treating me like this? One night, I had enough and decided to confront him. Jake, you need to stop controlling everything. The result? He blew up, blamed me for ruining the night and turned the whole group against me. In the end, I was the one apologizing while he sat there grinning like he just won an Oscar. I didn't change him, I only lost my peace. Looking deeper, why do we do this? Because we want fairness. We believe that if we stand our ground, they'll have to back down. But narcissists don't care about justice. They only care about winning. Psychologist Sigmund Freud once said, most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. For narcissists, their illusion is that they're perfect and they'll do anything to protect it, even if it means destroying you. Fighting them only makes you like them, drained and stuck in endless drama. And changing them, forget it. They're committed to their twisted way of life, not because they're evil, but because it's the only way they know how to survive. But from another angle, this also reveals something about you, that you have a strong sense of justice, that you want to fight for what's right. The problem is, you're picking the wrong battle. How to avoid this? Don't fight. Rise above. Set boundaries as solid as concrete walls and walk away. They crave drama, but you don't have to be the star of their show. Learn to grey rock. Become as boring as a dull grey stone, so they lose interest and move on to another target. If Chad or Jake tries to drag you into a fight, just smirk, say, cool story, bro, and walk away. But on a deeper level, ask yourself, what am I really looking for in this battle? Validation? Respect? You won't get it from them. It has to come from you. They're not worth sacrificing your peace over. You're not their therapist, and you're damn sure not their punching bag. Choose to stand above them because that's the real victory. A win that requires no blood, just confidence and self-respect. We've gone through the 3 biggest mistakes: believing they have a heart, letting them know too much, and trying to fight or change them. But knowing isn't enough. You need a real plan to not only avoid these traps, but to stand strong like a psychological warrior against narcissists. From the perspective of a psychology expert, I'm giving you 3 powerful strategies backed by science and real-world experience to help you not just survive, but master this game. Get ready, because it's time to turn mistakes into strength. Strategy 1. Build your psychological fortress and make it tall. Make it strong. Narcissists are like emotional hurricanes. They will sweep through and destroy anything that isn't firmly anchored. Psychologist Carl Rogers once said, "The greatest enemy of personal growth is not others, but self-doubt." When you believe Chad or Mike will change, when you open up too soon, or when you argue with them, you're allowing them to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Don't let them. Affirm your value. Write down what you're good at, what makes you proud, and keep those things as your shield. Every time they try to bring you down, remind yourself, I don't need their validation to know who I am. That's how you protect your heart and eliminate the first mistake completely. Strategy 2. Guard your secrets like gold, because to a narcissist, information is power. You think sharing will make them understand you? Think again. They're not your therapist, they're your predator. Psychologist Abraham Maslow once noted, true confidence comes from protecting your inner self, not exposing it to those who haven't earned the right. Chad doesn't need to know your boss once yelled at you. Lisa doesn't need to know you fear being alone. Every detail you share is a bullet they store for later. So how do you win? Master the art of strategic silence. Keep answers brief, change the subject, or simply smile and walk away. If they pry too much, just say, That's a story for another day, and leave them guessing. You don't owe them your story. Protect it, and you cut off the fuel they rely on to manipulate you, avoiding the second mistake entirely. Strategy 3. Don't play their game, create your own. Narcissists want you to engage in battle, to exhaust yourself in their endless drama, because that's their home turf. But you're not a punching bag, you're the one holding the reins. Psychologist Alfred Adler said, "True power is not in defeating others, but in mastering yourself." Instead of arguing with Chad or trying to fix Mike, set boundaries as unbreakable as steel, say no when needed, walk away when drama escalates, and focus on what you can control, your own life. Try the grey rock method. Become uninteresting, neutral, and disengaged until they lose interest and move on. But go deeper than that. Build a life that doesn't need them. Find real friends, pursue passions, and let your success be the loudest response. When you take control of your own game, you don't just avoid the third mistake, you make them wonder, why? Don't they need me anymore? These aren't just tips. This is proven psychological science. Narcissists may seem powerful, but they are far from invincible. Their greatest weakness is their dependence on you to feel important. Cut off their supply, and they crumble. See that you don't have to be a victim of these mistakes for another minute. Take action today, because the cost of doing nothing is too high. Losing your peace, your self-esteem, and even yourself. You deserve a life free from toxicity, and these strategies are the key to unlocking that door. Before we wrap up, I want to invite you to something special. You don't have to face narcissists alone. Join our community, where people like you are learning to stand strong, regain their power, and live true to themselves. In the description below, you'll find a link to sign up. Don't just watch and leave. Become a part of this revolution. You deserve it. We've just gone through a long journey, the 3 biggest mistakes when dealing with narcissists: believing they have a heart, letting them know too much about you, trying to fight or change them. But more importantly, you now see them from every angle, from their manipulation tactics to their deeper motives, and above all, your own power to rise above them. You can keep your distance, protect your story, and stand firm on your own 2 feet instead of getting dragged into meaningless drama. You are not their victim. You are a survivor, and today is the day you take back control of your life. Step into your true power, because peace is not just something you wish for, it is your birthright, and no one, not Chad, not Mike, no one can take that away from you. If this video hit home for you, smash that like button and share it with someone who's stuck in a narcissist drama. Thank you for being here, stay strong, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next video.